Good evening, everybody, and welcome to everybody's favorite podcast, because I know it's everybody's favorite podcast. Let's Talk It Out with Lisa and Francesca. And boy, do we have a show for you. Oh my God, I'm excited. Everybody has to get excited. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited, very excited.
Yeah, there you go. So first of all, we'd like to say, let's talk it out, guys. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on, I always flood this, Spotify.
I never got this,
Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and I'm missing one.
Apple Podcast.
Thank you, Stefano. Yes, Apple Podcast. I knew it was coming. It was a test. It was a test for him. That's right. We have to keep him on his toes. Also, guys, we have sponsors.
Yes. Thank you so much, by the way, because this is so important for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lisa, who we have as our sponsor?
We have Richard Babb Photography. Woo! Thanks so much, Richard.
You so much.
Richard specializes actually in glamour, editorials, cosplay, fantasy, and fine arts. We noticed his work. It is exceptional.
Great work.
The images are extraordinary. So, guys, check him out. And I do have his phone number here, but my phone actually died, but it's okay. 514-923-3168. Guys, you won't be sorry. His work is masterful.
Yes, contact him.
Also, we have a second sponsor, One Appetit Catering.
Can we do this? This is
can
so
do
bad
this.
in
No, we
Italian.
have to do it too. Very delicious, guys. And their motto is a little taste of Italy, and it's no joke. It really is appetizing. For your catering needs, 514-389-4345. I'll do what I did last time. The number is right here.
There?
I'm making it easy.
Extra work for me, yes.
No,
not a
but I'm
problem.
telling you
Not a
where it
problem.
goes.
Yes,
It
I have to
goes here.
position it perfectly.
There you go. Well, I have to keep you on your toes.
Yes.
So, guys, tonight
Wow, what a guest.
we have
what
an
a guest.
awesome guest. Are you excited? Olivia's excited?
Oh, everybody is excited.
Are you
Very
excited?
I'm excited. Any more sponsors that you want to go over? I mean, that's quite an intro.
No,
No.
but you are the main star this evening.
Oh, for sure.
Guys, tonight we have the pleasure to introduce an extraordinary guest and what I like to call as well a very good friend. We have a beloved aficionado of the Montreal cultural scene.
Oh my God, yes,
Mose
so true.
Persico is one of the city's most reliable and admired radio and TV journalists.
So thank you so much for being here tonight.
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me. It's a wonderful setup. I love Olivia the mascot, and Lisa and I have known each other for a long time, and now I get to meet Francesca, a Romanese in the purest form, and I'm so enamored with Italy, as you know, being born in Sorrento, Naples, and I'm just
Beautiful
really
city.
it's my privilege to be here.
I really appreciate it. I know you're very busy.
I am. I'm not going to deny it. We all are, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
I really appreciate you, really,
Yeah.
being here tonight with us.
I'm at your disposal, so let's go. What do we want to know? What are we doing here?
Yes, that's
know
what we
everything,
like.
Jose, everything.
Let's
A
talk
to
it
Z.
out.
Let's talk it out.
Folks, they fed me. We had wine,
Pizza?
and I'm told anything else. So I'm content.
Arancini.
And we can
Let's
curse
get
too on the
That's
we can
right.
curse on the
This
podcast.
is a podcast. Okay,
Yes.
here we go.
There you go. So I have the first question.
Go ahead.
So, Mose, you've been very successful with all that you've set out to accomplish based on the research that I've done, the interviews that I've seen. What critical component as a personality and journalist on radio and TV makes your work challenging?
Wow. Yeah, that's I've led a very fortunate life. I'm in my 38th year at CTV. Once upon a time, it was CFCF when it was on Ogilvy. Then we moved downtown, and the network all became CTV with affiliate stations. So I'm in my 38th year, and each and every day, I can honestly say, Francesca and Lisa, it's been a blessing. I think the most important component that you have to keep in mind when you embark in a career of show business, because let's face it, it is show business. We're there to entertain. We're there to inform our viewers, our listeners. But I think the thing that I've kept in mind throughout my entire career is you have to be humble. You have to be humble because the people out there, are expecting you to be sincere, and they're expecting you to be who you are, not someone that you're not. And I always kept that in mind. I've had some crazy stories covering the Hollywood beat for 35 years, which I only shared with family members and close friends, and I never went to air with these stories because people may interpret these stories. Well, look at Mose. Okay, he was on a yacht this weekend, where I was chasing fires for a living or whatever, and our wonderful firemen and police forces do such a wonderful job. So I think you have to remain humble in this business. Never forget who you are. Never forget where you came from, and be respectful of others. And later on, I'll tell you a little Oprah Winfrey story that I kept with me, and it's helped me a lot. But I'll save that for a little later.
Very cool.
That's very juicy.
I'm intrigued.
Yes. So I like the fact that never forget where you're coming from. So you were born in Sorrento, which is a beautiful city in Italy, beautiful country. We can say that.
That's right.
We're all Italian
You know,
here.
the first time I visited Sorrento, Francesca, and I really am ashamed to say this, I was 40 years old. 40 years old.
Wow.
I visited all of North America, Greece before Italy. I know
Oh.
it's a sin. I mean, mi dispiace. Mi dispiace.
Ma non ci piacciono
I
i
know.
sinners.
So first time visiting where my birthplace was, I'm in downtown Sorrento, and I look around and I see lemon trees downtown. Lemon trees and
That's
orange trees.
fantastic.
I go inside a phone booth because at the time cell phones weren't happening when I went to Italy for the first time. I get in the phone booth and I put as many coins in, and I call my mother. Why did we move to Canada? I'm here. I have a lemon tree and a mandarina tree in front of me. Mabaki mi yuda o Canada in Napoletan.
No,
So
that's true,
yeah,
Canada.
it's a beautiful birthplace, and I always try to go back now. And we still have family there.
And I'm curious to know because, we all bring something from our past, from our upbringing, what we do. So, what if you could think of, and I'm sure you've been thinking about it already, but what are you bringing from this background into your daily beautiful job that you do?
You're absolutely right. There is not one Hollywood interview or one person that I sat across with without telling them that I'm Italian. I'm such a proud Italian. Yes, I spent over 50 years plus here in Canada, a country that embraced our family. My family came to Canada just like the immigrant story that you read about. We sailed on the Christopher Columbus.
Wow, already the name.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
The boat was called the Christopher Columbus. In 1965, we docked at Pier 21 in Halifax, Nova Scotia. At that point, we had family members in Montreal, but it was still undecided where my parents wanted to end up. Turn left, you're in New Jersey. Turn right, you end up being in Montreal. So we docked in Montreal, and it's been our home ever since. Never did I forget what my parents did, Francesca and Lisa, to leave a beautiful life in Sorrento. I'm not going to shy away. My grandfather used to be the supplier for the limoncello factory in Sorrento.
Wow.
My parents and my granddad and my dad, we were lemon and olive farmers.
Amazing.
So they had a nice life based on the houses that I visited as later on. And my dad made the ultimate sacrifice. And it's a story of love because all my mom's family members, her brothers Idio and Dia, they were all living in Montreal, Canada. We were the last family to leave Italy. And my dad left a good life behind for his love, my mom, to move his entire family to Italy. And I never forgot that. I never forgot the fact that we're from a great country. I adore Italy so much. And every time I think of that decision that my dad made to say, okay, Giovanna, my mom's name, andiamo a Montreal, Canada, I'll never forget that. So for me, Italy represents the purest form of sacrifice that a father, a husband can make to his wife and to his family. And
That's
that's what my
That's
dad
beautiful. It's true.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you connect a little bit sacrifice with also love,
Oh.
because it was an act of love to move.
Absolutely.
To move, and you do that because you're looking for a better life,
Yeah.
for a different quality, to give options
Sure.
to your family.
Yeah, it was an opportunity to reconnect not only with family members but to start all over.
Yeah.
My dad was a lemon farmer, so he had to learn a new language, English and then French.
It was hard there
Yes,
at the
it was
time.
hard.
And you know, here he was, so he learned, he became a welder, and he worked in a wonderful, respectable company. My mom ended up becoming this incredible woman that learned not only to read English and French, but she also learned to write a
Wow.
little French and a little
Very
English. So she became this dynamo, putting 4 kids, because I have 2 sisters and a younger brother, all of us through college.
Oh, that's great.
Education was enforced con a spoon, a wooden
Yeah.
spoon in our
Con
house.
la,
Con la-
con la
Con a
cucchiarella.
cucchiarella, yeah, a cucchiara, we used to say in Naples. If you didn't do your homework, you know.
Ah.
Even the
but-
pandublo used to find you.
Yeah, a
You could-
Pandolfo.
Yeah, you can hide
A
wherever you
scopo.
want.
A
That's
That
scopo.
was like
Scopo.
the killer,
The killer, they
weapon.
found you.
Osandolo, you know.
You can
Lo
hide
zoccolo
anywhere.
duro, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hide anywhere and find you.
So my parents embedded a very strict educational, force in our household, which again I'm grateful and thankful for. And we all led beautiful lives as kids. We had our time to play in the streets. At the time, we used to literally play in the streets. It was safe back then. We didn't have to worry about anybody. My mom, to this day, is a devout Catholic, so I ended up becoming an altar boy. At
Oh,
the
that's
very
so
young,
nice.
7 years old, I was an altar boy, and then something happened. These microphones in front of me spoke to me.
Wow.
So at 8 years old, the priest would say, Mose, we want you to read the first reading.
Ah.
So as an altar boy, every Sunday, I would read the first reading. And that's when I noticed that there was a comfort level with these wonderful microphones and speaking to the public. I didn't have a fear of that. And I don't know how that happened. And it all occurred, I guess, it manifested during at Christmas time, at Pascua, Easter. Every time we would get together like this with my tias and uncles and aunts and all that, the kids, my cousins and I, we would put on a variety show.
Oh, love
Oh,
it.
cute.
So I used to be Johnny Carson. I don't know if you guys remember
yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
Carson. I'm dating myself now.
Vanny does.
I told them all.
I totally remember Johnny Carson. Totally.
So I was the Johnny Carson on the sofa, interviewing my uncles and aunts, but not interviewing them. We would do stupid things like best hairdo, best dress,
That's so
our own
nice.
Academy
Love
Awards.
it. We should do it.
Our own Academy Awards in our house, and again, it was easy for me to do that, and I just carried it forward, and then next thing you know,
That's so beautiful.
a career was born. back
38
then.
years later.
Yeah, it's quite something.
No, but that's interesting because you brought a little bit of yourself and a little bit of your past into your work as well. Because you did say that you express the fact that you tell everybody you're Italian, and that's
Yeah.
something that's pride. And to your point, our grandparents, when they came here, I find it very, very disconcerting because I find at our age we lost what they used to give us. The later generations, see, she's already laughing. The later generations, they actually lost that touch to make taralli or to, they have other things like this.
They have Bricchici.
Bricchici, yeah. We have Bricchici on couture.
Milano.
Yeah, that's
Milanos,
it.
yeah.
We plugged you for free. So for me, it's very interesting, and the fact that you also carried it into your current work, because it gives a person a sense of a foundation
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
who you are, where you've come from,
Yeah.
and how you carry yourself today and tomorrow.
I think it's important, grassroots in any family, in any aspect of life. It's so important to remember how it all began for you, and what you learned through the years, through the progressive stages to get to where you are today. Because we all had hardships, we all had moments where we felt we got the wrong end of the stick. I mean, how many auditions, how many interviews do you walk through the room, you're super prepared,
Yeah.
and then you end up losing the part or the job to a candidate that wasn't even half.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't say that, but inside we say it,
Yeah.
So it's just important that every step that you make, you have to tell yourself that it's a step forward, that you're progressing instead of regressing, that you're going to be disappointed. But with disappointment comes lessons, life lessons that you could take and learn from for your next conquest, your next challenge. And I was taught that at a very young age because I saw how hard my parents worked. And we were told at a very young age what life they left behind. So we were told to appreciate, to live in the moment now because it could be gone tomorrow,
Absolutely.
So that's what I kind of always try to remember. It's not easy. I mean, there are days when you don't feel like remembering certain things because of the way the nature of your day is going, but you just got to stay humble. You got to stay humble, and you got to love people. We're in this business because we love people.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
I mean, you're getting this podcast out to the masses out there because you're expressing your opinions, you're expressing your views, but more importantly, I think you're expressing the joy that you get in doing this,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't like
Absolutely.
doing this, why do this? Right, Olivia? I mean,
She's
come on.
enjoying that too.
Hey, sweetie. So that's what it is,
So on that note, what do you think makes yourself unique as a person?
I've been very privileged that every person, there are angels out there in life that actually guide you and help you. Now, I'm not a totally religious person. I was Catholic. I still am Catholic. But I truly believe that sometimes you meet people that give you clues as to what your destiny is going to be.
Yeah.
And I had that happen to me. I was very fortunate that the first job that I got out of Concordia University, I was still in my second year. I got a job as a driver for a situation comedy. It was called Snow Job. It was recorded at CFCF 12. My job, I was in my second year at university. This was my job. Mose, we're going to give you a car. We're going to give you $250 a week spending money on top of your paycheck. Really? What do I have to do? Do I have to sell myself on the corner of... what do I have to do?
Who knows?
Your job
What's the
as
perk?
production driver for our show Snow Job is we have a whole bunch of actors that arrive from Los Angeles at the airport. You pick them up at the airport, you drive them to their hotel, you wait for them, and then you take them to rehearsal at the station. At the end of the day, you drive them back. You get to keep the car for the season, no questions asked. Here's money for gas. If they ever need anything, like take them to the bagel shop for a bagel. If they want to go to Elio Pizzeria for a pizza, or Pomodoro or whatever, or your sponsor Buon Appetit, take them there. Take them there. Mo, that money is for you. And so that was my job in my second year of university. That show ended because all situation comedies have a shelf life of no more. You're not a Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a Seinfeld, especially in Canada. So that show folded, and here I was about to graduate in communications at Concordia with no job until I met a person at the television station that said, Mose, there's going to be an opening in the mail room.
Yeah.
The mail room, where you deliver
Yes.
the mail to the entire station. It's the lowest paying job of the station, but you're inside the door.
Yes.
And it's all about
It's a
getting
step inside.
There
Yes.
you go. It's all about getting inside. And that to me was my angel that I was talking to you about, because they gave me the clue. Mo, take this job. It's going to pay you not what you're earning now, but it's going to get you in the door. And once inside the door, you're going to see what you really like. So I took the mailroom job. I lasted in the mailroom 4 months, and I quickly got promoted to another department, and then I started to see, okay, that department does news, that department does sports, they do a travel show, they do this, they do that. What do I like? And I slowly started to learn, and then I realized that I really felt comfortable in front of a microphone, in front of a camera. So I ended up doing an apprenticeship on the community channel, just like the movie Wayne's World.
Yeah. Oh,
With
yes.
Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. They had their own little show on the community channel. So I began to develop and produce shows on the community channel. I ended up winning awards for shows like Teenage Life, a show, half-hour show.
Yeah.
We discussed everything about teenagers. I did a show called Between the Sexes, Men and Women and Their Social Ideologies. That went really well. We talked about sex, we talked about divorce, we talked about marriage. And then because I love food, I developed cooking shows. Mose's Kitchen, which was fun because we had all the facilities to our disposal. I mean, we actually had a cooking set. So here I was cooking, and I invited chefs from restaurants all over.
That's nice.
Even Bon Appetit, your sponsor. Plug in the sponsors.
And Richard Bat took
Richard
photos.
Bat took
Richard would have come in to take
Pictures.
photos. Not Mike, Richard.
Richard, yeah.
You know. So here I was gaining all this experience on the community channel end. Now keep in mind, this is a channel that people accidentally fall on. It's not a CTV network channel. And I was gaining all this experience in front of the camera, learning how to write. We had to do our own makeup. We had to go get the guests. We had to do our own scripts and everything.
What does
But
that sound like?
it was an education that you can't buy. On top of earning a degree in communications at Concordia. So I developed a half-hour show at the time because I loved movies. And I called it Reel to Reel. And I spelled it R-E-A-L,
Like
real
real,
people,
real.
to real,
Real.
R-E-E-L, to film reel.
Yeah.
Because I love movies. I did that show. The entertainment reporter for the newscast at that time, Sandy Kurchenko, an amazing woman who gave me my break. You always need that one person that believes in you.
Yeah.
That's true.
That mensch. We call them the mensches.
Yeah.
That Lisa,
Mentore.
Francesca, yeah. I credo di te. Va, andare. Sandy says to me, Mose, every weekend I go to LA, New York, and I do these interviews, and I'm going every weekend, and I don't want to go. Can you go to New York and do an interview for me and bring back the tapes? And we're going to show the tape of the camera A of the star. We can't show you because you know, you're not on our newscast yet, but you know, it's good experience for you and all that. I go, you want me to fly to New York?
So
My first interview.
Amazing.
You want me to interview John Cusack and what?
Wow.
What am I gonna? What? You want me to do that? Paul Newman? You want me to talk to Paul Newman? Paul Newman? Cool Hand Luke? Cool Hand Luke? Are you kidding? Yeah. What do I do? Just watch the movie and whatever comes to mind of the movie, write a couple of questions and just sit down with them and be yourself. So I did that. I was very nervous. But during the interview, like this, it was beautiful. It was like, Paul Newman, wow, looks good, blue eyes, wow. But I know,
I know.
I had to
Paul
keep
Newman, I always
I
have
had
a
to
thing
keep it
for
together,
him.
you know? So I came back with the tapes, brought them to Sandy. She used camera A. You only see Francesca, you only see Lisa. You don't see Mose. But she loved my
Should be like-
questions.
Yeah.
So she put the story. So she says, you know, Mo, I think we're going to start sending you. You go every time. I don't want to go anymore.
nice.
So then I started to go more and more LA. So then all these tapes, which had me, camera B, and you guys, camera A, I said, I have to put use to these tapes. So I've developed my show on cable called Reel to Reel, but you see me and the stars in their movies.
Oh, nice.
And I did that for 3 years.
Love
One day, I get a letter from my news director at Channel 12 at the time. He says to me, Mose, you know the half-hour show that you do called Reel to Reel for that community station across the hall from our cafeteria? I go, yeah. Can you do that for me in 3 minutes? I go, 3 minutes to 3 minutes? Yeah, can you condense it and make it a 3-minute piece? Okay, Bill, I can try. At that time, we were airing The X-Files.
Wow.
On CFCF 12, The X-Files started at 11:57 after our newscast Pulse. So they needed 3 minutes to bring it to 12 o'clock,
Ah.
right?
God, wow.
So he says to me, give me 3 minutes and we'll see what we can do. So this was the opportunity, right? Sometimes you have to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, for sure.
So I took it, I condensed my half-hour show into 3 minutes. I took the best pieces of the interview, the best movie clips and all that, made it to the 3 minutes and all that. And I presented it to him on a big 3/4 inch tape at the time, you know. And I waited for the answer. And then it comes to me, at the time we were delivering the mail, I get a letter, formal letter to Mose Persico. I opened the letter. It's my program director of Channel 12 saying, Mose, welcome to the show. Welcome to Channel 12. Congratulations.
That's so
You're
nice.
on every Friday from now on Channel 12
Wow.
with your segment called Real to Real. And boom, 38 years later, I'm still doing it.
I love that.
Fantastic.
It's so true. Opportunity comes, but
Yeah,
I hear.
you have to
that's
be
the-
smart to jump also to see the
Yeah,
opportunity
and,
and jump on
and then
the
he
train,
gave me
you know?
half-hour specials, and then we ended up having our own primetime show for 8 years called Entertainment Spotlight. We ended up producing shows like Food and Fashion. We ended up producing shows like Passion for Fashion. We ended up, when they destroyed the Montreal Forum to turn it into a Cineplex, I produced a show called Look What They've Done to the Forum. So I had access to the excavation, and we
Oh
interviewed.
my God, yeah.
So we produced a lot of shows, and rest in peace. He was the guy that gave me my break.
That's so beautiful. But
With that, I have to say, because I've, being a musician, it's the same idea. There's always that break, but you have to be prepared when you have that break. So that's the props to you, because you were prepared for every chance you got.
you
Well,
kind of
that's-
have to absorb,
Yeah.
what is surrounding you.
You live the
and
moment.
just-
Because another angel, remember, this whole thing is going to start turning into a thread of religion. I don't know why. Oh, é Páscoa.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Yeah. A little angel told me that the definition of success is being prepared for an opportunity.
Beautiful, love that.
That is success. If you're prepared,
When
musician.
luck meets preparation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Success is being prepared for an opportunity.
That's so
The
true.
opportunity was given to me, and if you excel, boom.
Yeah.
But I have one question because
Yeah.
that is still in my
It's
mind.
good. It's good. Go.
I love hearing you talking because it's really inspiring, no? It gives you like that push when you want to follow your dreams and, you're ready to jump on opportunities that we've been saying. Being prepared is very important. Consistency too.
Yes.
But like throughout your career-wise, two passions pretty much connected. One, what been career-wise, your biggest challenge, and second, because it's a beautiful job, and I can see that you do it with passion, and you cannot do it at your level if you don't have passion.
100%.
Because you failed before, you ended before, maybe you don't even like, so you
Yeah.
do 10 years max, and then no, it's not for me. So I can see, but is there something, so a challenge, big challenge, career-wise, and something you dislike?
Yeah, there's no question that the advent of these phones
Yeah.
have changed media, have changed news gatherings. Let's face it. The number one challenge that you have to keep in mind if you want to embark on a career in media, and we can't even call it television anymore. We have to call it media.
Yeah,
Yes.
Because this is media, this is TV, this is a podcast, which 10 years ago, we didn't use words podcast. What was a
Yeah.
podcast?
We didn't even know what it was exactly.
So technology is so fast, it's changing so quickly now. So the number one piece of advice I can give to people that are thinking on embarking on a media career, not necessarily a television career, is you have to make yourself familiar with these gadgets and technology as much as you can.
Okay.
You have to know how to edit. You have to know what a microphone really does. You have to know what a bad microphone is. You have to make yourself familiar with the technology out there. You almost have to be an on-air performer and a behind-the-scenes director all in one.
I like that.
Yeah.
You need to know the technical aspects
Kind
of
of
it.
duality of
You
that.
have to, because technology is changing now. You need to know how to circumvent certain situations. If your lighting is not right, you need to know, Francesca, that light needs to be this. You need to know these things.
Yeah.
So that's what I tend to tell the students that come out our station on tours, whenever we could give tours. Post-COVID, we will, I hope. That you have to know both sides. And then the number two, you have to know how to communicate.
Yeah.
So very
Education, reading and writing. I mean, those are the basics. But you have to have good communication skills. And not necessarily to use prolific words to get your point across, but to be concise and to be to the point and make your points very succinctly and get to what the point that you want to make not in the fastest way, but in the most meaningful way.
Yes.
Communication and an overall understanding of the technical aspects of media production. Those are the keys if you want to think of a career, because let's face it, conventional TV, appointment television, with the exception of local news, is gone. You could watch your favorite show streaming. You
Yeah,
could
it's
watch.
true.
You could watch. If you missed a show, you could go to press your button
platform.
and fast forward or rewind and still catch your show.
It's so true.
Thankfully, local news, just like local morning radio, people thought when satellite radio came in that, we were all going to be listening to Howard Stern. We love Howard Stern on Sirius.
Yeah.
Howard, I love you. But I also like my Virgin Radio in the morning. I also
it.
like
Yes.
my
Charm.
Q92. I like my Show'em in the morning.
Yeah.
I like my TSN, the boys at sports. So that's
It has to hit home, right?
That's
Yes.
right. So local community news gathering, still very important.
And sports.
Sports.
It's all about those two, I believe.
Gotta have the
Yeah.
abs.
Yeah.
I don't know what the abs are doing.
Not this year, but whatever.
So those are the keys to keep in mind.
But it's very true that I find social media, and I find that people, and it's very interesting to your point, Mose, was that the communication is very important. I find people right now, these days, hide behind this.
Yes, of course.
And there is no rapport anymore between, regardless if you're in entertainment, if you're an actor, if you're behind the scenes, or if you're doing a podcast in front of a microphone. Rapport is very important, and I think that also contributes to the opportunity.
Absolutely. And you have to keep in mind that it's no longer a private world.
No, that's true.
These cell phones have given birth to these cameras that capture everything. Forget the phones that we all carry. Forget the fact that the apps know exactly what we're doing, what we're buying, what we're shopping for,
Yeah.
what we're surfing. But now the outside world has all these closed circuit cameras out there for our security and our safety that grab everything.
Yeah, so true.
So you have to be careful. You have to conduct yourself not only in a proper manner, with your friends, but when you're out there in the world, the eyes are watching. Big Brother,
Yeah.
that
Yes.
show,
We are living on it.
we're living.
Yeah.
We're living a reality show.
That's so true. There was that beautiful movie with Jim Carrey.
Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Yeah. the
We are
truth.
living a sort of Truman
Yeah,
Show.
we are. We are.
We're living a life that's basically scripted, I guess, at this point.
Well, we act. We
We
actually
are the actors.
Since we are kind of acknowledging, like that we are living recorded, and so we kind of act accordingly with this
the Hunger
world we are
Games.
living. But no, it's true. Like, honestly, I believe that, as you were saying, sometimes I joke with my friends and I say, "Oh my God, luckily we didn't have like the phone,
The phone on.
to take video or shots when I was younger."
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
it's true, because it would have been like nothing that crazy, but I mean, like, everything now is so recorded.
Sure.
Everybody is filtered. I believe it's filtered. So I love when you say, yeah, technology is important, and I do believe that, because I have to face it as a personal challenge
Yeah.
when I was growing professionally. But also, it's so important to have the skills of how would you say, pure communication.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not be filtered, because everybody now is doing media.
Yes.
Because they have maybe the skills to do the technical stuff, but they don't have the pure communication, their interaction.
Everybody thinks they're a journalist and it's getting this news out first and all that, but you're absolutely right. They don't have the integrity
Yes.
that you need.
So true.
You need journalistic integrity. And let's face it, these TikToks, these apps that make people instantaneously famous and very wealthy.
Yeah.
Some people are getting away with it and they lose who they really are. But the people that are really serious about our true profession that we like, and if you really want to perform it in the purest form, you have to have integrity. And if you have integrity, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Rules.
But I find that there is such an extreme in terms of the masses that are let's say, for example, podcasts it's huge, the world of podcasting and streaming. To get out there, it's very, very difficult. And I find especially today's mindset, today's age, is that they just rely on every fast-moving pictures, the moment. They don't ponder like we do on where did we come from? It's the moment, it's now, and it's very fast paced. And I find that detracts from the true character that you were saying, to be humble and to be, to grasp the opportunity. I find opportunities fly by, and more so, I'll just generalize it, saying some people of today don't grasp it because it goes by too quickly. They don't have the time to say, okay, wait a second, this is what I like, this is what I'm doing. It flies by.
Everybody's running too fast because also of this word that you were saying. This is developed so fast, like media has accelerated our way of living, and we are always running towards something.
Sure.
And we lose the connection with the present.
And not appreciating the moment that we're actually living.
That's so true.
Because you're absolutely right. And, I have so much respect for young couples and middle-aged couples that are raising children now in this dawn of technology. And we grew up with typewriters as the next big thing, but now these kids are going into grade school learning how to use a cell phone and learning how to edit, and so it's going to be quite something to see what's next. What is next?
Well, what's interesting, and I know my daughter is an example.
She definitely
She's
is.
definitely an example of today's age. They don't even know how to cursive write.
That's right, she does.
No, but I'm saying.
Let's give
There you go. Thanks for
She knows.
Talk it
She
out.
knows. She knows.
But that concept, because I don't know if you've heard this.
Go ahead.
Did you hear that at Concordia University, they've implemented a class called Kanye West?
Yes, and it's sold out.
Yeah, I
of
heard
course.
that.
Now,
We ran that story on our newscast.
Yes. Do I ask you what your thoughts are on it?
I think it's wonderful. Look, I think it's great. Education, is knowledge. Knowledge is power. If the kids are into Kanye West, and
But also Kanye West is a character.
Yes,
It's more than just a personality
they're
right
They're
now.
not going to talk about his trouble with the law. They're going to talk about his artistry.
Yes.
And in art,
It's very
you find a lot of
artistic,
enriching and social redeeming values, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a course in the States on the Rolling Stones.
Well, that makes
There's a
so
course.
much.
There's a
makes
course.
it
Makes
easier.
that so much
I would
sense.
There is a course in Los Angeles. I forget the university. Don't kill me. On Star Trek.
Yeah, but these are
Gene Roddenberry.
Oh my
the
God.
course is called Gene Roddenberry.
oh my
He
God.
was a master coming up
So
with
I
that
mean,
concept.
I have no problems with it.
When do we get to take the mosaic course? My mom would throw me into that course in 2 seconds. You got to take that course.
What's
It's
your
the
mom's
best."
name?
My mom, Maria.
Maria, you're so sweet. Thank you, Maria. The Mosaic course is like one volume, not even. It's a little pamphlet. No, it's something that look. It's. I've been having fun, and I don't know how long I'm gonna keep going. I'm in my 30th year. I think I'm gonna get to that magical 40.
Good.
I kind of see myself 40 years at one place. Doesn't happen a lot now.
No, but the spirit that you have that makes the difference,
Yeah.
huh?
Definitely.
And you know what? The Oprah Winfrey story.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yes.
That I wanted to share with you because it really freaked me out. First of all, Oprah Winfrey, what a life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You know the history behind this woman.
Yes.
So
Talk
empowering.
about what pain and anguish this woman went through her life, and I interviewed her for the very first time for a movie called Beloved, which she produced, and it's amazing. The very first time you meet Oprah Winfrey. I met her at her show when I took my first wife to the Oprah Winfrey show, and I saw that, oh dear, this is a real angel. And there was like almost a halo over her. Like people were lining up to shake her hand, and it was like meeting the Pope. It's like, and I saw, and I just analyzed. She would always look people in the eye, like it was a real moment.
The way, yeah.
So the first time I met her, this was at her show in the Chicago studios, Harpo Studios. And then when I got to interview her later on in life, I went, oh man, this is Oprah Winfrey. Now I'm going to be like here, Francesca and Lisa right in front of me, So I walk into the room, and it was like a mini amphitheater. There was like a publicist, a makeup and hair person, a manager, the cameraman, like Stefano's there, and your wonderful daughter, and there's like everyone watching you, and you take your seat, and immediately as you walk in, she's getting powdered, but while she's getting powdered, she says, she apologizes. I'm sorry, they have to do this to me. I want to say hello, but I will say hello.
So nice.
She pays that respect. I'm not even sitting in my chair yet. I'm going to my seat. She's getting touched up, and she apologizes for not acknowledging my presence right away. That to me shook me up. That to me freaked me out. I go, this is a talk about a respectful person.
Yeah.
We do the interview and we talk about the movie, and I'm just, listening to her, and she, I don't know what happened, but I guess my face was so full of emotion as to what she was saying that I was grasping, and I was like a sponge. It was entering my soul, every word. So I had 1 minute. They give you 1 minute. It's like your daughter saying, 1 minute or delay this. So I got the 1 minute cue from the person. And I said, Miss Winfrey, if there's anything that you can tell me to give me advice on this television career that I decided to embark on, because it's been tough, but it's been good. But more, it's been good, because look where I am today speaking to you. She says, I said to her, can you tell me anything that I can, She says to me, she grabs my hand.
It's a very person.
She grabs my, she says, Mosey. She called me Mosey. My name is Mose. She goes, Mosey, I want you to remember 3 things. I'm like, okay. She says to me, the first thing, Mosey, is quite simple. It's the little things that mean the most.
Love it.
Mosey, if you go back home and you interview a person and you spell their name wrong and they're watching the interview, if you missed a letter T on their name, that little thing means the most to that person. It's the little things that mean the most. I said, okay. She says, the second thing I want you to remember, and this is a little more difficult as you go older, there's enough pie for everybody. The pie is for everybody. Don't try to take all the pie. Leave room. Share the pie with others. Share the pie. Share your wealth. Don't be greedy. And she says, the third thing I want you to remember the most, Mosey. Now this is important, Mosey. And she kept holding my hand. And my hand, I was like sweating. I was like, and then I started to feel the tears rolling down my face. I don't know what happened. It was like her energy was like getting into me. And she says, Mosey, this is what you need to remember, and it's the most difficult one of all. But if you get through this every single day and incorporate this in your daily life every single day, you will be fulfilled as a person, and you will become a better person in the process. Treat people like people. Treat people like people. You say thank you. You open a door for someone. You help someone in their dire needs. Treat people. We all come from the same place, Mosey. So she started preaching. She started raising her hands, and she says, we all come from the same place. We're all equal. People forget that. You need to treat people like people. Madonna mia. And then the whole room noticed that I was like, it was an epiphany that I had at the time, right then and there. So she hugged me at the very end. She says, come here. And she gave me this really nice hug and all that. And it was something I never forget. And to this day, I tell you now, ladies, to this day, April 5th, every single day, I try to incorporate not all 3 things that she told me, but at least one of the 3 things each and every day, because it really gets you by, because they're so simple lessons. They're life lessons that are so simple that if we take the time to kind of, implement them in our daily lives, they're so simple when you think about it. The little things that mean the most. You come home, you see Olivia, your dog, she's waiting for that hug. Yeah. It's a little thing, but she's been waiting for that hug all day. And it's a little thing.
I'm going to hug her now.
It's a little thing, And
I'm going to hug you now.
So those are the things. That was I call it one of my favorite Hollywood moments that I'll take to my grave.
That's so beautiful.
I'll never forget that day.
And if I have to ask like something similar that I wanted to ask you at the beginning, because it would have been very helpful for us, but in your experience, what is the key to, I don't want to say perfect in sense of plain perfect, like objectively perfect, which we don't like probably because we are passionate people. But what is the key to get engagement with the person you interview? What's the key of the perfect interview in the sense of expressive
The
interview?
rapport,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
Should have asked at the beginning.
no,
It's okay.
no, this is all good. You have to know the person you're interviewing, number one. So it requires, obviously, a certain amount of research. You can't go in trying to be someone you're not. You have to go in, and you're right. The first 30 seconds of an interview is the interview, because that person across from you is going to read you. They're going to read your body language. They're going to look at you, and you have to speak them directly in their eyes. You got to set aside any form of pretentiousness that goes out the window. You just have to be prepared. And I think the key to I'm not going to be afraid to use this word. The success that I've had in my career in Hollywood is that I'm not going to be a 60 Minutes reporter walking in there to get the revelatory interview of a lifetime that's going to make it national. No, I'm Mose from Montreal, a little city. We're not the biggest city in Canada. I work for a local TV station, but I love movies and I know what I'm talking about. And here's what I want to know. And I always take that. And it's again, you got to be humble. You got to not pretend. I'm not an actor. I'm a journalist, but I'm not an actor. So you have to know. So if you watch a movie, and if you go into an interview and you apply for a job about this company that you want to work for, you got to know what the company that you're working for does.
Yes.
Because you have
That's
to
the first
ask,
thing.
you got to ask that person questions about why they want you, not why you need them.
Yes.
Tell me, why do you want me? And you
Yeah.
should be bold enough to ask that question at the end of the interview. Why do you see me working here? I'm just curious. And they'll give you an honest answer, or they might give you an answer that you may not like. And then you know it's not for you. So I think the most important thing to get that positive experience, let's just call it a positive experience. It's not going to ever be a perfect interview.
Yes.
Interviewing Tommy Lee Jones is not a perfect interview, let me tell you.
Really?
This man, and I can say this on the air, wherever this goes, Tommy Lee Jones, I love you, Oscar award-winning actor, and we had great conversations. But he treated some of my colleagues to the point where they were in tears.
Wow.
Female journalists were brought to tears by Tommy Lee Jones. If you're out there, yes, you know who you are.
U.S. Marshals.
Yeah. So, but it's all a question of, I don't know what happened. I wasn't in
Yeah,
that
for
chair at the
sure.
time, but so I think that you got to know who you're interviewing, who you're speaking to, and most importantly, just be yourself and be respectful and look at them in the eyes
I like
Yes.
when they're
It's
talking.
very difficult though.
Yes, because you feel a little self-conscious
Yeah,
and all
yes,
that. But no,
yeah.
you look at them, and when they're talking to you, you look at them. And that'll tell them you're serious and you're listening to them. And listening,
No, this is
a
so
good
good.
interviewer is a good listener.
Yes.
Also because you have to follow up with what has been said.
Yes.
And it's nice to interact with the conversation.
Yes,
Because sometimes you have this interview that someone you have already,
I'm
a
putting
serious-
parking, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I'm not ignoring
But
the
this is
beautiful.
the beauty of
Yeah.
of kind of
Because
live is recorded.
Yeah, me too.
but
Before
still.
I get my
Anyways.
car hauled off.
See, I got 8 minutes left in my parking. I should put more time, eh? I should put more time, eh?
Yeah. We'll
Okay,
with
go
more
ahead.
time.
I'm listening.
No, I was saying like this is very important. And it's not every time easy because you actually is right. You full subconscious because you hear yourself. You are aware of what you are because when
Right.
you interview, you're also putting yourself out there.
Absolutely. You're injecting your own opinions, your thoughts.
Yeah, and I think it's important. And I think that you were saying listening is important because you want things to get a flow. Sometimes
Yes.
you start with a question. You have your own interview in mind, no? But then it goes completely another way, which is great if it actually follows a flow.
I think people also they see that you're listening, and it's important. That's how you engage them as well.
Exactly.
Because if it's
That's
just
so true.
if it's going over your head, you see right through the person. Like,
Right.
Doesn't really or she doesn't really care what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's doing
And
a
just-
job. And
Yes.
when it's a
Yes.
job.
And you know what? They can read that. they know that if you're Nugavon and all that,
Yeah.
as they say in
Yes,
Italian, you know?
exactly.
That's so true.
Yes.
And you don't want to project that. You want to, and you can't even seem interested. If you seem interested, they know that too.
Yeah.
So you gotta be interested.
Yeah.
It's like a musician. It's the same thing.
yeah.
If you're pretending to be into a song,
Yes.
or if you're truly into a song,
People
they read it a
gonna feel
mile away.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And you
sure.
can't, and it's all about being humble again. You
And
know?
connections.
You gotta be
Yeah.
who you are. You know.
Definitely.
So that's
And
what I try.
passionate.
Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta.
it's very important.
Passionate about the person you're interviewing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That helps. Too.
Which doesn't mean that you have to like, for example, it doesn't mean that you have to like the person like as a personality, but that you have honestly interested in what this person is saying.
Sure.
So that makes you passionate about that person.
Yeah, you want to know about their journey and how they got there in terms of if you're interviewing a star and talking about their role and what they did to prepare for the role. It's a journey, right? I mean, from script to screen to movie theater, that's a journey.
Yeah.
And that has a lot of stories behind it, you know? So, yeah, you try to put yourself in the place of the viewer or the listener listening at home and try to, in a way, figure out what they want to ask, you know, like a question that they would like answered and all that. And always be respectful of their personal life. If they volunteer personal information, that's great.
Yeah.
But never try to do
push
the,
them.
Hoax it. Yeah.
I have never categorized myself as a tabloid style interview. I don't care who they sleep with. The biggest stories sometimes break out when we're interviewing them. When Tom Cruise broke up with Nicole Kidman and we had to interview him for I forget what movie, which happened right after the aftermath of his divorce, I'm not gonna in my 5 minutes ambush him and say, "Are you okay with Nicole?" You know, I can't do that. I can't do that.
So what does she wear in the morning?
Yeah. Now the talk show, the David Lettermans of the world, they have obviously
Yeah.
open license because they have the mass audience and all that,
Yeah.
and they have more than 8 minutes on a sofa on a couch set where the audience there is waiting
Yeah.
for that
Yes.
Yeah.
question. Okay, Tom, what happened with you and Nicole?
Come
you
on,
know?
we want to know.
I can't do that. And I never did that. Whereas there's some reporters that are similar to what I do, they did that, they get blacklisted.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I
a
understand.
rule.
It's all about
That's-
respect.
it's
That's
Well,
disrespectful.
yeah.
You can't do that. Now, if the star gives you a 1 hour interview, oh, you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
going to ask about Nicole in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, if I have to sit across the guy or girl for 1 hour,
Yeah.
I'm going to take creative license. I have to ask
For sure.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to do it in 4 minutes, 5 minutes, no, not right.
You see, that's respect.
That's
Yeah,
respect.
it's respect.
yeah. And that's
It's a
the
code of
humbleness.
conduct.
Yes.
I
It's a
like
code
it.
of conduct.
It's a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to behave and you have to follow the rules, and it's just you gotta,
People
remain-
still appreciate that.
And
gotta
that's
run-
the thing in the end game.
Yeah,
is
that's
that.
what's because right now everybody is thinking differently. Like, you have to push, you have to be the fox that played the game.
Yeah.
Which if you are correct and humble, as you were saying, sometimes people can say, "Oh, you're too old school. It's not anymore like that." So I'm very, 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 very happy
No.
Yeah.
to hear that. That is
Yeah.
still so important.
It is. And you know what? You never worry about, people grading you or people judging you. You worry about yourself and you worry about your self-fulfillment. If you did a good job and you know in your heart you did a good job, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
There's always going to be critics out there. There's always going to be people that are going to throw darts at you in life, no matter what. You could do the best thing ever. And there's always going to be people out of jealousy, out of spite. It's humanistic
We're human.
phenomenon, Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
We're not this little beautiful puppy's dog.
Yeah.
Carefree.
She did a mess.
Olivia, what did you do? We're ignoring you.
We're trying to ignore the fact that she ripped apart tons of
Tons
toilet
of toilet
paper.
paper.
And
You should
bring-
see the set, folks. Now, oh my goodness,
Hold on. We need.
It's
We
snowing.
need. You know what we need? We need a close up of Olivia.
it's like a hurricane went through here. Look at this.
I was sometimes distracted because I was there, the
I saw
singer,
it. I saw it.
like
I was like,
eating the paper.
Yeah, Olivia.
She
don't
wants
need
a
to-
bit of the
Whatever you do, don't eat the Kleenex, eh?
Oh no, she just does it to get the attention.
But yeah, she needs attention.
Oh, poor thing. So on that note, we have a game.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
to
a game.
bring even more the attention. on
Yeah,
you.
that's
A
it.
joke, huh?
We'll see. We're going to talk about the passion and what the
Yeah.
opportunities. And,
Okay, un gioco.
but we won't tell you what the questions are.
No.
But they will read the question and we have to answer.
Oh, you will? Oh, okay.
Oh yes. So well, it's called rapid
So
response.
I don't answer.
Yes, you do.
I do answer.
You
Yeah,
have-
yeah.
Yes.
It's called rapid response.
So wait a minute.
basically,
We shout out our answers all at once? Or?
No, we take turns.
Oh, okay, take turns. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to, you'll see the way it goes. She'll ask the first question for Francesca and Lisa, and then you'll take the second question.
And don't be shy.
And
Whatever
here we
comes
have
to mind.
Sierra, our camera lady.
Hello, it's me.
I love that. Hello, it's me.
She's very, very on point.
So, Francesca and Lisa, name 3 things you do before you go to bed.
Floss. Put on my pajamas. And brush my hair.
When do
Oh,
you
really?
floss?
I don't do it with an open door.
You take a shower and then you. put
Okay,
pajamas
but
on,
it's only
whatever.
3 things. I'm not committing to 14.
You never floss. I never saw you floss.
That's because I'm in the bathroom. Can we go on to Francesca, please?
Wow. Okay.
For me, well, I put my pajamas on, I drink a glass of water, and then I ask Olivia to do pee pee. So she can come on the bed with me without doing pee pee on the bed.
I was going to say sometimes not in that order, but yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Mosey, name 3 things you say to your dogs when no one is around.
Oh my God. That's embarrassing. No, actually, they're my kids.
Up close and personal, Mosey.
They're my fur. They're my kids with fur, and yeah, we have a sign in our house. Our dogs are furry friends with 4 legs. Our kids are furry friends with 4 legs.
Oh.
What do I say to my dogs? I say to them, God bless you and sweet dreams. Tomorrow's another great day. Every time. Yeah. Every time we say prayers. I say prayers with my dogs.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I do. You probably are going to think I'm a religious person. Get out of here.
It's getting out like out, you know?
And then I also say every single night. This is at night, you said, right, Sierra? This is at night, right?
Yeah.
I say, Daddy loves you very much. Every time. Never forget, Daddy loves you very much. Right, Olivia? Yeah, Mommy loves you very much.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah. And then I say to them, sweet dreams.
Oh, that's so cute.
And that's a God-given truth. I say that every time. Sweet dreams.
That's so cute.
That's adorable.
Well, our dogs are.
Yeah.
That's it.
Where am I? Oh, okay.
Where's this Francesca and Lisa?
Ask if she flosses again.
I don't get why that's so secretive.
Huh?
I don't get why that's so secretive.
Yeah. Why so secretive?
Yeah.
It's just flossing.
Can I be humble now?
What do you floss with?
Never you mind, Vanny.
Use a toothpick.
What?
You both we have toothpicks at home.
I use floss.
She uses floss because it's minty. She likes the minty
I
taste.
love the minty fresh.
I'm lost. I'm lost in translation.
Okay, the next question. Francesca, Lisa, name 3 completely useless things you have in your house.
Just look around.
Don't eat Kleenex. Don't eat Kleenex.
I know. Air fryer I purchased 1 year ago. One night that I was with friends and we were drinking wine clearly, and my friend was saying, "Oh my God, like the air fryer, like it literally changed my life." And I was on Amazon, and that second after I ordered a hair dryer, fryer, not dryer, and never use it. So that's one. How many things?
3 that you have to live.
3. Another thing. What is another thing? Ah, yes, la cannuccia.
What? Excuse me?
La cannuccia.
What is she doing with her mouth? What?
La
It's
cannuccia.
that type of
A pipe,
podcast. A pipe.
The
The
thing-
smoke drugs.
No, the thing that used to
A hash pipe.
no to drink the coke.
A straw.
A straw. Yeah.
You call a
thought you-
canuccio a straw.
Like a-
I thought the
Cannuccia,
umbrellas were
I
useless.
thought she was
Okay.
using a hash pipe or something. I have no idea what they do. These Romanese people, I don't know.
There's
A canuccio. We call it a straw. straw. That's what we call it.
Ooh, straw. It's an ooh straw.
Aganuch. That was aganuch. These people, I don't know, these Romanese, I don't know. They're kind of wild.
And silky pillows.
Huh?
Silky pillows.
What's that?
Silky.
Silky.
Oh, silky.
Silky.
I'm like, what's a
A
silky
silky
pillow?
pillow.
I thought she said,
Yeah,
oh.
which I have. That
they-
should be very good for your hair and against the wrinkles. But it makes me sweat so
I
much.
thought aganuch gets slippy or something.
Slippy, yeah. A sippy. All right,
Okay,
so.
pillows, sleeky pillows.
Okay.
Silky pillows.
Remember, folks, when you go to Rome, look for sleeky pillows.
Oh my God. Okay, guys. This
Only
next,
wrong we have this.
I have to answer 3 of the most useless. I know one right off the bat, but I won't say it on the camera. 3 useless things. It's hard because there's a lot of useless things in the house.
Pick one.
I find clothespins quite useless these days because I have a dryer.
Clothespins.
Clothespins.
Come on.
Yeah, ich bin.
No.
Le
spingole.
pinzette.
Yeah.
Yes, but sometimes you got to put your clothes outside in the sun.
Le
Right?
She doesn't know
mollette.
I put it in the dryer
Hey,
with the
Mo-
downy bounce.
Hey, mudandina zo.
They don't hang
they gotta
outside.
be taken care of.
We don't go look at our neighbor's backyard to see if they have the cheese strings on the.
She's not
Never
gonna put
mind.
it in.
FYI, okay, I'm gonna plug it in. The dogs are cute. Mine ate my underwear and my bra.
It's a family show.
The family show, yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's a,
All right? Me. Because you asked me about flossing. What else?
so, okay, next is clothespins. Good stuff. Next.
I don't know. There's so much useless stuff. Dustbusters.
What
You know
the-
the dustbuster by hand?
Sure. You know what? I'm gonna be with you
See?
on that one.
The
A
dustbuster is
because
the
they
most
last.
useless thing.
They last because they're battery powered, right?
Yes.
So the first 2 times they suck hard, and then after that, there's no more power. There's no more juice.
Something gets lodged in there. So that's second. And the third one is, I don't know what the third one is. Wait, Sarah, give me a third one. What's useless? They're
Ridiculous.
In the basement is a garden of like, no, it's Florida in our basement.
It's a nursery. Yeah, we have a lot of plants. I won't lie. We
They
have
give
a
a
lot
lot
of
of oxygen.
plants.
It's good.
I know where to spend my winters in your basement.
This is funny. The next question is for Mose, and I can tell that Lisa wrote it.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, what's
prepared.
that supposed to mean?
Name 3 famous aliens.
So now you know why. That's why.
That was Lisa smoking aganush.
Oh, ce l'ho le cannucce. se
Yeah,
volete.
we're gonna have one
3
after.
famous aliens.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how would you answer that?
Well,
How do you
number
call
one that
that?
comes to mind is E.T.
Yeah,
Ah,
true.
that's so
True.
cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like E.T.
I
TT's
cried so
alright.
much.
Everybody. And then Mork and Mindy, Mork.
Oh,
Ah,
And
Nano.
then Alf.
No.
Oh, I
Nice, you
like
see?
Alf. See, you laugh at me.
I went
This
now-
turns. My hamsters
Yeah, a bit
are
too much
awake.
sometimes.
The
It's okay.
hamsters are awake here.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually a good answer, Mosey. You're on top of that one.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We have for Francesca and Lisa.
I saw woohoo at the end and I got really confused. Name 3 things that make you go woohoo.
Che woohoo.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Remember,
You win the
remember that-
lottery?
The IKEA commercial. You know that IKEA commercial? Get the car! Get the car!
Start the car,
Woohoo!
start the car.
Start the
IKEA.
car! Start the car!
I
That's
was gonna
right.
say that. Winning the lottery, IKEA, and Costco.
Nice.
Woo!
Costco.
Yeah.
Costco, perché? Why
Because
woohoo?
they have good stuff.
She finds him mudandina on stage. She finds him in the box set. You know, 20 leopard skinned prints in a box of 20 for $29.99. Lisa, woohoo! I'm there.
See, I look for specials. That's all I gotta say. We lost Vanny. What happened? Did he throw up?
I think he wants to open probably to someone.
Oh! Okay. Your turn.
My turn. Woohoo! I don't know.
Wine.
Well-
Wine.
Good wine.
Good wine.
When I finally find something new that I really enjoy, yeah, woohoo, that's for sure. Oh, lasagna.
Oh, lasagna.
Lasagna, you like.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I cook a great lasagna, but I don't cook it often. So
Why
when I
isn't
do
it
it,
here? I'm just asking because lasagna is my favorite. So how come I didn't smell it when I came in?
yeah, I know, but because
Next
it's hard,
podcast.
it takes
I know.
time.
I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Lasagna is good.
For a Romanese, that's
Yeah,
that
but my
sounds-
nonna, the recipe is from my grandmother, and it's very, very good because she taught me how to cook the ragu like the right way.
Nice.
And the other thing that recently I do is when I discover a new rock band from the past that I didn't know,
Yeah.
and then I say, oh wow, now I have like other at least 10 hours to listen to something
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
I'm so happy when I
Yeah, when you discover old music or new music, yeah.
yeah,
That's
that
a
you
good feeling.
like, that you feel it have the groove, and you say, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, I can't wait to go home and go." Like this is a good thing about media now, that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just go and you have access
Yeah.
to all this
Absolutely, on YouTube,
library
yeah.
of
Yeah.
things.
Alrighty.
Next one is for Mose. This is a good one too.
Name 3 odd objects you used as a kid.
3 art objects?
Odd.
Odd objects that I used as a kid.
I don't know how
I don't know.
I'm a little bit like
It's yeah.
3
Wait.
odd objects that I used as a kid.
no holds barred, Mosey.
The Ouija board.
No, I never.
I don't know. But I remember it used to be a thing in high school. It was like,
Oh,
I
I
did.
know. I used to play clackers.
oh yeah, there
know,
you
the
go.
tick, tick,
You
tick,
see?
tick, and then they started hitting people in the eye, and they stopped. They banned them when kids started losing eyeballs. We used to do clackers,
Wow.
and then odd things that I used as a kid. Oh yeah, we used to put. Speaking of clothespins, cigarette packets on the spikes of your bike.
Yes!
Oh,
To make the bike go.
I didn't know that.
That's a good
That's
one.
an odd
That's-
one, right? I remember doing that. And then the last one, 3 odd things that I used as a kid. Wow, this has to be as a kid. 3 odd things. So I guess it would have to be. Believe it or not, my first Swiss Army knife.
Swiss.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, the
The one that has
that
many-
opens- I got that
Yeah,
from
the-
my father, and there was a spoon, a forquette, a
The
nail
straw,
file,
a straw.
a little
It's
straw,
to have one.
a scissor.
The scissor, yeah.
And
The nail file.
And when he gave it to me, I'll never forget. I go, "Oh, my God!" And I used to open, and then how am I gonna close it? And then, sure enough, you close it. And
Yeah, it has a strategy.
There's an
those are-
order.
Those are the 3 things I remember as a kid.
Fantastic.
As a
Nice.
kid, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it looks like we've hit the end of our podcast.
Unfortunately.
Wow! Woohoo!
Ooh, that's one thing that makes
Actually,
me
a
go.
little bit sad because it was so interesting. that I could,
Yeah.
Well, listen, I
Continue.
had lots of fun, and you guys are great, and I think what you're doing here is wonderful. It's a great way to express yourselves, not only creatively but informatively, and keep going. And because I think you're onto something. I truly had a good time.
Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you so much for coming.
This is so nice.
And
Thank
we
you.
truly appreciate it. So take it away, Francesca.
Let's talk it out for the next time. So, it's been so nice to have you here, and thank you for these beautiful words.
Thank
said.
you for the wonderful meal and the wonderful dog and the wonderful crew and everything. And let's hope your dog didn't eat all the paper.
I don't know. We're gonna discover it soon. Thank you so much for following us on every platforms that I cannot name because
right.
I always forget. Thank you to our amazing sponsors, and thank you for being so kind and forgiving us sometimes when you make some mistakes. And we're looking forward to talk with you.
Oh,
soon.
one last
What-
thing before we forget. We have our giveaway that's coming up.
Oh my
Yes,
So
God,
that's going to be
yes.
next week.
Okay.
Our next podcast, the next.
Yes.
Let's
yes.
talk it
so
out.
Yes.
Please,
We will
please
announce our winner.
Okay.
Keep writing to us.
It's right. It's
Keep writing
basically
to us,
Apple Podcast or on YouTube. Leave a comment, or on
Comments.
Apple Podcasts you can write a review
Yes.
and
Fantastic.
follow us on the podcast.
For a great giveaway.
Yes.
From Emmy Armour,
Yes.
our fantastic designer from Montreal. Beautiful necklace.
Yes.
Handmade, unique piece. So guys, please follow us, and we love you so much. Thank you for supporting us
Thank you, Mose.
every time.
Thank
and
you.
thank
My
you
pleasure.
to our special guest tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
And everybody can find you on.
Yes, they can find me on Facebook. They can find me on CTV Montreal every Thursday and Sunday nights. and on Facebook as well, on Twitter. And, I always like to answer the people that do comment and do get in touch with me because that's important.
Yes.
That's
Read
very
your
nice.
email and feedback.
Yes.
Give the people what they want to hear.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much,
guys.
everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Everybody.